Now, throughout her long reign, the Queen was incredibly proud of the charities she represented and often paid tribute to those who selflessly worked for them.
Well, let's talk now to Nicholas Swanborough, Head of External Affairs for the Epilepsy Society. Good to see you this morning. A charity apparently the Queen held particularly close to her heart.
Yes, she did. So the Queen, we were proud and privileged to have the Queen as our patron throughout her long reign, throughout 70 years. We know it was a condition close to her heart because the Queen's uncle, Prince John, had epilepsy.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yes, and he sadly died at the age of 13, and it is believed he died of a seizure.
Gosh.
So I think, like so many people who've lost somebody to epilepsy, they understand the impact of the condition for the person and the legacy that the whole family carries.
So what happens now for a charity like yours?
So in terms of the patronage, we know that the Queen inherited the patronage from her father, but we don't know what will happen next because obviously this is quite unprecedented in our lifetimes, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
you don't get a letter or anything saying under review or something?
No, nothing. But I suppose we will do later on, you know. I mean, obviously they're dealing with their grief and, you know, it will take time. So we will just be waiting. We're hoping that we will get another royal patronage because it's just been so important for people. There's 600,000 people in the UK with epilepsy.
Is there that many?
Yes, it's 1 in 100 people have epilepsy.
And of course, the royal connection with Prince John, as you were saying, that would have been at a time, and that's why we never hear very much about it. There was a stigma to it, wasn't there?
Totally, yes, totally. Epilepsy used to be hidden away, which is how our charity was founded, really, to get people out of London, to give them a better life. And obviously it's very different now. But there still is a stigma connected to epilepsy. So to have somebody who really who understood epilepsy and the impact at the helm of a charity.
The impact on the family as well.
Yes.
It's not just on the person suffering from epilepsy.
No, exactly. Because if you're having, for a third of people with epilepsy, their seizures aren't controlled with treatments today. So you wake up in the morning, you never know if you're going to get to the end of the day without a seizure, you know, whether you're going to go out and have a seizure in public.
What difference does a royal patronage make?
I think it's been really important over the years. We've had, in 1985, the Queen came on a visit to have a look at the treatments and diagnosis of epilepsy, which was really important.
My goodness, and the treatments must have changed over the years.
They have. So in 1985, when she came to see us, she very much was looking at EEGs. We sort of did a mock-up EEG. Well, in 2020, during lockdown, we sent the Queen what we believe was her first Christmas message via Zoom. And we had people from all over the country whose lives have been transformed by the Queen's charity, talking about how it was a young mum who's now got 2 children and works in the NHS after brain surgery through the charity. And also another family, the whole family's lives have been turned around through genomic sequencing, all things that just weren't you know, in 1985 would never have happened. So it has been quite incredible. And also, we have 93 people with severe epilepsy and associated disabilities who live at the charity. And during lockdown, obviously, they were one of the most vulnerable communities in the country.
Where is that based?
So that's in Buckinghamshire, in Chalfont-St-Peter.
Oh, yes.
And our support workers were so fantastic, looking after them, keeping them safe. They had to act as family, friend, carer. And out of the blue, the Queen sent the most wonderful letter saying how proud she was, how she also recognising the sacrifice that their families had made and that they were coming into work every day.
Doesn't that say a lot about her, though, that says, I mean, I know she responds to a lot of things, but to send something out of the blue just shows how it was still close to her heart.
Oh, totally. And I think one of the most lovely things in my time at the charity, in 2017, I think it was, a little girl, a 10-year-old girl, Ellie, wrote to the Queen. She'd lost her friend, Patrick, who died of epilepsy, about the same age as Prince John, actually, as a teenager. And she wrote to the Queen and said, could you do something about it so that other people won't have to suffer as we're all suffering and grieving? And so the Queen wrote her and said she would get in contact with us, which she duly did. And out of that came a wonderful campaign. We raised thousands of pounds for research into why young people can die. And at the time, the Queen didn't want to be named in the campaign. She just wanted to do it quietly in the background. So it's only now that we're able to reveal the tremendous part that the Queen played in that campaign.
Oh, isn't that
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's a really lovely thing to know. Nicola, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, and let's hope. I'm sure there will be. Royal patronages are being moved around a bit, I guess, aren't they?
I would imagine.
You might end up with the Prince and Princess of Wales.
You never know.
You know, we will be happy. We've had so many visits from the royal family. The Princess Royal has a great understanding of epilepsy, so we will be very happy for whoever takes on.
Well, they'll
Queen's
know
role.
how important it still was to the Queen, won't they?
Yes.
Nicola, thank
That's
you
lovely.
very much.
Thank you.
Well, look, don't go anywhere. Our coverage continues.